Oh, God. Oh, no.
As you guys surely know, Marvel Rivals has been killing it.
Yeah.
And Overwatch 2 has been essentially doing the opposite, killing itself, if anything. Even just taking a brief look at analytics over on SteamDB, we can see Overwatch 2 with a 23% rating and 35k in-game as recording. In comparison to Rivals, 79% rating and
I would say that 80%, if not 90% or higher of the audience of people that are playing Overwatch are probably playing on the Battle.net launcher. So really the only way you can get an indicator of like how popular this game is based off of the trends and then extrapolating the trend. So, like, yes, Marvel Rivals is doing better than Overwatch on Steam, but Steam, I think, is a very small slice of the Overwatch pizza.
150k in-game as recording. Rivals is a game that I am thoroughly enjoying, but of course it does have its own problems. It's not a perfect game. Regardless, it's doing significantly better than Overwatch 2. And
Yeah,
given
I'd say it's
Overwatch
doing
2's
really
own
well.
struggles on top of Rivals' massive success, it seems like Blizzard is getting increasingly desperate. You see, for years now, Blizzard has been attempting to appeal to the modern audience types, and it looks like Blizzard is starting to
I think they need to stop doing that. Like, they've added like 2 or 3 characters into Overwatch that aren't fuckable. Why would you do that? What are you, retarded? Really? What? Why? Nobody wants that. Stupid.
Big regrets about that. It's really interesting because with Overwatch 1, they did have some attractive characters
Diva
in-game,
2.0,
but
yeah.
the modern audience types they were trying to cater to ended up complaining about that. For example, all the way back in 2016,
What do you guys think? Do people consider, do people consume more fan art about Overwatch or more Overwatch in the last year? Which one do you think? More fan art. That's what I'm thinking too.
Blizzard had this victory pose going on with Tracer, but certain types of individuals, you know the type, began to complain about this, saying it's problematic, that she's overly sexualized, you know, all that sort of really, I'm offended about everything sort of rhetoric. And so ultimately, Blizzard decided to capitulate to those people and remove that victory pose. We'll talk much more about how Blizzard is starting to regret having catered to those sort of people for years. Before we do, a message about a game that embraces its attractive characters that I think you guys will appreciate. Big thanks to Girls Frontline 2 Exilium for sponsoring this video. Girls Frontline 2 Exilium is
this game is the most shameless fucking game I have ever seen. Crazy fucking shameless. You can go into like these dorm rooms with these girls and like you can click on their bodies on different spots and they'll do different things. Like this is some straight fucking like degen shit.
A popular 3D strategy RPG for both PC and mobile. In-game, you'll collect various units called dolls to deploy in combat. The dolls have a wide variety of weapons that you can pair with them and freely customize with various attachments. There's also an affinity system where you can present gifts to your...
Look, see? And so this is the real... Like, what you guys saw earlier, that's not the gameplay. This is the real gameplay.
Favorite dolls, leading to exclusive rewards, such as doll-specific weapon skins and attachment skins.
Oh,
Plus
right.
the fan-favorite dormitory.
There we go. Okay, here's the real content. Yep, there we go, guys.
Which allows players to thoroughly appreciate their dolls as they relax in different activities while off duty.
This is so unnecessary. Watch the jiggle.
Which allows players to thoroughly appreciate their dolls as they relax.
Are you kidding me?
Relax in different activities while off duty. And over at the refitting room, you'll also be able to select different outfits for your dolls and even unlock various idle animations as you level them up. You're even able to enjoy your arsenal of weapons in the weapons gallery. All of the guns are meticulously crafted.
This is the convergence of fucking military grades weapons and attachments like Call of Duty and anime girl gooning.
3D and can be viewed from any angle. Yeah, these devs know exactly what the people want. And this is a perfect time to play because Girls Frontline 2 Exilium has a bunch of amazing events coming up, including a banner featuring increased drop rates for Klukai and Macchiato, and outfits for them, as well as their respective elite weapons, Skyla and Bittersweet Caramel. The limited time event Aphelion is also coming up. Participate to claim targeted access permission times 30, access permission times 10, and Klukai's new outfit Speedstar for free. There's also the brand new game.
Dude.
Brand new game mode, Boundary Push. Dispatch your dolls to explore the contamination zones and obtain development materials. So definitely consider checking out Girls Frontline 2 Exilium with the link in the description or pinned comment or the QR code on screen, and enjoy.
It's like XCOM with hentai cutscenes.
We left off discussing how Blizzard began to pander more and more to the modern audience types, and Overwatch went from a game where those types were...
I'll be real. I considered playing it. I did. I thought it would be funny to stream it a day or so, but for whatever reason, I think something else happened the day it came out. I ended up not playing it. Play it. If they sponsored me, I would take it. I would take it and I would play it.
Complaining about sexualized characters to a game where posts like this were prevalent, fast forwarding now to 2022. On the Blizzard forums, this post, for example, reading, "Is Overwatch the only game with non-sexualized female characters?"
That's crazy. Wow.
I hope I can say that word in the title, but it's quite interesting thinking about why we have such a great and large LGBTQ community. And now fast forwarding to May 30th, 2023, after the release of Overwatch 2. And
so LGBTQ isn't sexualized? And LGBTQ people don't like sexualized characters? Hoa. That's the implication, right? It's quite interesting thinking about why we have such a great... Why? Why would they not want that? That's not... What? Why are the people that are fighting against... Why are the people for equality so attached to stereotypes? Why is this happening?
And the first Pride Month occurring after Overwatch 2's release, Blizzard made this official post that reads, "Celebrate Pride in Overwatch 2, bragging about their inclusivity for Overwatch 2, or what you could really just call rainbow capitalism. For example, they wrote, "Beginning on June 1st, everybody that logs into Overwatch 2 will receive an extensive collection of profile player icons and name cards, celebrating the many diverse identities that make up the tapestry of this fantastic community. The full list of cosmetics can be found below. Name cards allow you to choose how you identify within the game, and you'll notice specific ones dedicated to some of our LGBTQ+ heroes. You'll find a lesbian card for Tracer, a gay card for Soldier 7.
They actually type this. There's a gay card for... I got your gay card. Like, this is something that we said in 3rd grade. Your gay card? Like, what do you need a gay card? Who wrote this? What is going on? This is insane. It's so weird. I know, you dropped your gay card. Remember that? No, I didn't. Oh, you still have it. Oh, God. Oh, fuck. How does this happen?
76, a pansexual card for Lifeweaver, as well as a bisexual card for Baptist and a lesbian card for Farah. For years, players have speculated on the sexual orientations of Baptist and Farah, and we are thrilled to not only include them in these Pride cosmetics, but also publish a brand new short story focusing on their identities, each other, and themselves. And once again,
Never mind. No, I was gonna say something really bad. Not gonna say it.
Again, fast forwarding, that takes us to just about a week ago when we saw headlines going around talking about Overwatch 2 launching another collab.
So I've seen more pictures of Widowmaker with a dick than without a dick. And so I don't need Overwatch to do this for me. The game's like you've got fan art that does that already. Like you don't it's all a fake problem. This isn't even real to begin with.
With Le Seraphim. For example, Pirate Nation captioning the news saying Overwatch 2 is getting its Korean devs to spruce up its female characters, obviously because of Marvel Rivals. We can see a response from Madam Savvy saying, "Let me help you out, Overwatch. You can get all the Asians you want to completely redesign characters. That isn't going to help. You took away fun and focused on all the wrong things. You retconned lore to pander, and you censored the ever-living heck out of your game. Adding back loot boxes, undoing every change, and doing nostalgia mode isn't going to save you. You burnt your goodwill. It's gone. No one new picks up your game, and everyone is No one new picks up your game, and everyone is leaving. It's called moving on from that bad ex. You have people who hate gamers working there. You have to make
you have to make everything safe. Exactly. Yeah, I unironically think this is true. That there's a lot of people that work in video games that don't even like gamers. Like, if you don't like gamers, like, imagine working at a fucking steakhouse and you're a vegan. It just seems like a bad place to be, you know?
everything safe. It doesn't work like this. You can't just add something sexy and think that'll save you. Now, if someone comes out and says, we were wrong to pander, here's transparent.
Okay, yeah, here's a really good... Okay, so somebody brings this up. Tracer has more dicks than I... Okay. How much fan art is there of Tracer with a dick versus without? What's the pie graph here? I don't want to look it up. Ask Grok? No, it can generate pictures. I don't want a mistake to happen. Do we know? My point is that this kind of stuff, the entire premise of this, like about how they have to make the characters' sexualities known and all of this, 99%. So it's 1% is her with one? I don't know. I'd have to go back and research that. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're right. I'd have to look it up and figure it out for myself. 1% without. Oh, 1% with... Okay.
On what happened, that would work. But you'll never do that. The pride of your ideology won't let you. The pride of your activist staff won't let you. And I will never go back to Overwatch. Mm-hmm. But here's where things get really interesting. Because certain Overwatch 2 fans are attempting to defend Blizzard here. Their argument is essentially that Blizzard has actually collabed with Le Seraphim before being specifically back in October 2023. In other words, before Marvel Rivals was even released. And so they're saying that Blizzard isn't concerned about Rivals, and this whole collab has nothing to do with Rivals.
Of course they're concerned about Rivals. It's a competitive game in the same industry. What do you mean they're not concerned about it? Of course they are. What are you talking about? Like, if you look at a Venn diagram between people that play Rivals and people that play fucking Overwatch, it's going to be pretty damn close to a circle. Okay? Like, let's be honest.
But when you actually take a look at the previous collab with Le Seraphim and compare it to the new collab, there's some huge differences with the collabs. For example, the new one does seem to show the characters in a much more attractive light, while the first one did have that sort of safe feel that Madam Savvy was talking about, and if anything even looks a bit awkward at times. I'll show you specifically what I mean. And by the way, for those that don't know, Le Seraphim is a South Korean music group. So in the collab from 2023, we can see part of the animation here. I'm not going to play the entire thing, but just like take note of the outfits.
Yeah, this is not Gooner bait.
And take note of some of the things that the girls are doing. For example, like this just seems awkward. Maybe you agree or disagree, but this is just like, I don't know, it just looks weird and awkward to me. But okay, anyways, those are some examples.
Let's look at the new one.
The first collab from 2023 is mentioned. But now we'll take a look at the brand new collab, and you can instantly see, first off, they have like this style they're going with that's supposed to be like more of an anime theme style. And it's very interesting how the characters are dressed in more revealing ways this time than they were.
I still don't think this looks that good. I feel like all the leaked cinematics and everything totally fucking cleared this. It's not even close. It still looks bad. It does. Like, I mean, it looks better, but it's like a different, like, yeah, it's still too safe. Yeah.
The first collab. And given all that's been going on with Overwatch 2 and Blizzard, this really doesn't seem like coincidence.
This is awful. Like, I don't even think this looks good either. It just doesn't. Like, it just looks weird.
Yeah, in my opinion, at least, it's a pretty stark difference. The first one has this like safe, westernized feel, and now Blizzard is pretty clearly trying to change all that in the second collab. Hopping back over to Madam Savvy's post, let's check out some of the comments and see what some of the other people are saying. We saw an Overwatch defender. Here are some other comments, though. Eldritch Bogart saying, the game died when they stopped producing good cinematics. It was the canary to
The game died when they decided that they weren't going to do PvE. Everybody was so excited for Overwatch 2, and people really liked the world of Overwatch. Like, it was compelling, it had interesting characters, and I think that people liked it in general. But when they announced that they weren't going to do PvE for Overwatch anymore, what they did basically is kill the hope that the game would ever be more than just like a hero arena shooter. And that's just really not, like, people were excited about the whole spectrum of the world. Like, they had built something that was really interesting. I think that they had a number of like compelling and interesting and like a lot of the characters that they made with Overwatch were really good. Like Torbjorn, Reinhardt, Widowmaker, Mercy, Diva. They were all these like really iconic, well-designed, super relatable, appealing characters, right? For one reason or another. And and then you had like all these other things where it was like you had this story that was like told only through like you know, like different dialogue lines before the match, where it's like Soldier 76 and Reaper that are talking to each other, and like you discern from that some sort of like, you know, storytelling, right? It was almost like Dark Souls, how they had like spontaneous storytelling in Dark Souls if you did certain interactions. Like Overwatch kind of had the same thing in a way, right? Abstractly. And it was really cool. It was so well done. And I think that you built that up over the years, and you built up the lore, you built up these cinematics to like make people like the interactions between the characters, and then you just decided to literally just fucking give up. You just said, you know what? Nah, yeah, I don't know, guys.
Know that they thought they were able to coast on player goodwill and change the game any way they please, and the players would still support it. Steven saying, and this is why I love competition. Free markets mean the consumer wins.
Yep.
Darth Vader saying,
Darth Vader.
I used to love playing Overwatch back in the day. I had gold weapons for Diva, Reaper, and McCree. Mark XZ saying, still remember they add DI stats to every character, and every one of them have to be marginalized in one way.
Oh my god. I forgot all about the chart. Blizzard, DEI, intersectionality chart. I think I can probably get this right. Where's the images? So yes, basically they introduced a chart where it's basically like I know what you're thinking. Did they really make a racial tier list? Yeah. Yep. That's right. And so is this true? Yep, it is. And Blizzard creates diversity space tool to aid in inclusive characters. Yeah, it was a whole thing. And look at him. See? Wow. Look at that. Oh. Nobody liked this. Nobody liked it. No gamer on the list? No, gamer is not an oppressed race, even though it should be.
It is stupid. Aaron Darklord saying they literally have to contract good designs out to another continent because there's probably no one in their office who's physically and psychologically capable of drawing them if asked to, and they'd get months of tantrums and malicious complaints.
Well, the reason why is that you have a bunch of people that want to draw characters and make them ugly because they joined video games and they want to make video games the way that they want to make video games. They don't care about what the audience wants. They don't care about what like the people that buy the game want. They care about how they feel and how the video game makes them feel. That's the problem. That's what it is. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand it. It's really not that complicated why it happens. Like, I think that a lot of these Western studios, and especially American studios, are totally cooked. I don't think they're ever going to be able to get out of it. It's like if you get an infection and you have to cut off the entire arm. I feel like these people are that infection. You can't really get rid of them. And so you're stuck with all of these people that have completely taken over the company, and they're going to drive it into the ground because they have weird worldviews that nobody else likes. And they can't come to terms with the fact that these viewpoints are not popular. Nobody likes them. They don't even like themselves. Like it's so fucking weird, man. Diva is the fourth searched worldwide. It's insane. Yeah, I wonder why. That's not really a problem. Tim Kaine made a Fallout game he wanted to play and it was great. The problem is that these people aren't gamers, so they don't know what a good game is. No, the problem is that Tim Kaine knew how to make a good game, and his idea of making a good game is making a game like I never really played the original Fallout, right? So like I'm assuming that it's a story that probably has to do with a lot of, like post-apocalyptic themes. There's probably like a subtext of like a military industrial complex, maybe like a Cold War context to it. And there's like a police state that you're probably like fighting against. Like that's what I'm kind of assuming, right? Like that's probably like, because a lot of these games are the same. Literally spot on. Yeah, exactly. The reason why that story is good is because it's relatable and it's interesting. The story isn't interesting when it's somebody that doesn't know what gender they are. That's not an interesting story. That's like, oh, I don't know, like, am I going to get Taco Bell or McDonald's? Yeah, I fucking wonder. Is this really going to be an interesting story for an average person to watch and listen to? No. And so that's really what the problem is. It can be if it isn't forced. The problem is that these people can only force it. And they're also just not good writers. That's the other thing.
Insane. They also flat out lied to players. The PvE feature was scrapped and was a big part of the game going forward. It was just scrapped. And the last one we'll take a look at is this one from LC that reads, as someone who sunk hours and hours into Overwatch and even spent a good amount of time on Overwatch 2, I agree. I won't be going back. So let me know what you think. Do you think Blizzard can possibly recover goodwill? Of course, they might be concerned if they start like undoing some of the stuff they've been doing for years, that they might upset the modern audience types that are still left.
Remember what I was saying about remember how like fucking Gavin Newsom went and he tried to roach out on some of these like woke ideas, and then not only do the people that he's trying to roach out, like, so not only do the people that he is leaving hate him, now you're having the people that he's going to think that he's like dishonest. So Blizzard is in a situation where they're basically fucked, because if you change what you're doing now, then it looks like you never cared, and you're betraying all of the people that, like, they're like, oh wow, like they really care about my identity. They don't care about your identity. Why would they care about your identity? And yeah, they care about your money. That's what they care about. And so you can't, and there are a good amount of those people for sure. Like, it's not like there's like a lot of them and they're not the majority, but there's a sizable amount, sure. And you're going to betray all of those people. And then in order to get back to people, and like, you're going to make it like Marvel Rivals. And there's other problems that like that Overwatch has that are just gameplay related, that don't have anything to do with it, that I think Marvel Rivals does a better job at solving, especially in terms of like color effects and spell effects. I think Marvel Rivals is much better with that. So that's really it. And also like the levels are more well designed, I think, and the game's more dynamic. They add in more stuff more quickly. So all those things coming together, you're going to have a game that's more agile and people like it more. So the problem is that Overwatch, I think that they've written themselves into a corner. If you betray the woke people, then you lose them. And if you try to stay with them, the game keeps dying. You're stuck. How come companies became like that in the first place? Imposed by DEI, rules by the law, they got paid to do it, or something else? I think that a lot of people are naturally accommodating and reasonable. So they reasonably allow certain types of discourse and certain types of additions, like, oh yeah, let's add in this character, let's add in that character. And like at a certain point, like basically it reaches a point of no return where you have so many people that have this ideology, And then the ideology, and the problem with a lot of these, like, kind of like, I don't really like using the word because I feel like it's very overused, but like, you know, let's just be honest, like woke ideologies, a lot of them are kind of like self-radicalizing, where like there's never really like an end goal. There's just the next level. And so when there is a parity reached between one goal, then the next goal then becomes the new goal. Yeah, it's purity spiraling, right? It's like, yeah, it's like a Russian nesting doll of purity tests that never ends. So now, and like, if you think about like kind of like woke stuff back in 2014 was like having women that don't look like they're made like porn actresses and not calling people the N-word. Like that, those were two, that was a really, really big thing. Like, just stop calling people the N-word and, you know, women are not property. And like, that's it, right? But like, and those same people, I think that some of them that were ideologically just attached to that alienated themselves from that group. And then you also had that mentality is like a self-radicalizing mentality that those same people, or that movement that they created, is now the movement that's like about, you know, like transitioning kids before they can speak. Like, you know, like dressing kids in the gender that they think that the kid thinks it's in. And so that's the problem, is that it's a self-radicalizing ideology. And the reason why it's a self-radicalizing ideology, no one does that. You're right whenever you're talking about like medically, but there were even parents saying that their kids thought that they were the opposite gender before they could talk. Like, it's literally it's a testimony from a parent saying she did it. So unless she's lying, I don't know how you can deny it's not happening. And so anyway, my niece thinks that she's a dinosaur. Well, then she's a dinosaur, obviously. And so anyway, the point that I'm making with this is that, and the reason why it continues to be self-radicalizing, so why does it happen? The reason why it happens is because the values that these people are pushing are actually artificial. They don't really care about these values. They don't care about the way that people feel. They don't care about equality. They don't care about any of this shit. The only thing that they care about is they care about feeling like they're doing a good thing and adding something to their long list of good deeds that make them a good person. So the problem is that when you run out of good deeds that make you a good person, well, now you don't have this new way to feed your narcissism. So that's when you have the next problem manifest. You never run out of problems, because when these people run out of problems, they run out of power. And all of their power is derived from having problems. Do you see what my point is?
Sounds like they've got themselves.
So they'll never run out of problems.
But yeah, let me know what you think about that. If you think Blizzard can fix all this somehow or not. As always, thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed my coverage, please consider liking and or subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, I think this is 76. Oh, shit. Give me a minute. And yeah, check Global Government Affairs last tweet. It's about X account bans on Turkey. The Turkey opposition leader, not the guy in jail. The party leader thanked Elon. Yeah, I mean, I'd have to go back and find it. I mean, I don't know what's going on about that. But they're stuck in this mentality because if they back down, they'll have to admit that they abuse their children. No, I don't think that's really what's going on. I think that a lot of people, again, I feel like almost all of these values that people have with like adding in, like, I can't believe, bro, a gay card? A gay card? Are you kidding me? You get a gay card? How do you add something like that? Yeah, you dropped your gay card. I know. Like, it's like, is this like some kind of like abstract meme? Like, yeah, is it like some like hidden, like, I don't get it. You never had to hide your sexuality? I mean, in some places you did, and that's bad. But like, that's not really what's being discussed. So, and no wonder they're dying as a game. Yeah, it's just weird, man. And I think that, again, like, I don't know every gay person. I know some gay people. And you know how I treat gay people? Like people. Simple. I treat trans people like people. Treat Republicans like people. Democrats like people. Woke people like people. There's no problems. No issues. No bullshit at all. So this whole weird thing that these people have, it just, treat furries like people, even though they're not. I even treat fat bitches like people. You're right, I do. And that's because, as I said before, I'm probably the most pro-feminist streamer on the website. But, well, actually, not probably. I am. But, yeah, there's that too. And so, even Karens. Yeah, I even treat Karens like people. It's like a very funny and sad story in a way. There's this old lady in our neighborhood, and she's like 90 years old, and her name's Karen, and she is the biggest fucking bitch. She would complain about us, get mad at us when we were kids, and like Zach went over and he saw Karen recently, and Karen was being nice to him. And he was like, why is Karen being so nice to me? Why is she being nice? And he's like, well, apparently she started getting early onset dementia. So now she's nice to people now. And we're talking about this, and I'm like, do we laugh? Is this funny? Is this bad? Like, what do we do? Like, I don't know what this is. And it's like, yeah, so she was being nice now. And it got dark as fuck. I know, right? Early? Yeah, early. She's like 90 years old, 80 years old, something like that, right? And recently, yeah. And so I forgot even how I got that. Oh, yeah, even her. Even her, treat her like a person. Yep. And so it's so weird how this group of people you just can't act right. You just, like, why can't you just fucking act normal? Why can't you be normal? Why can't you just be fucking normal? We don't need gay cards. What are you doing with gay cards? Just be fucking normal. Jesus Christ. Yes, people are segregating themselves. Yes, exactly. And I don't know what to say. And yeah, what's this here? We don't have straight cards? Yeah, I know. And it's because they don't interact with people? I know. It's so fucking weird. And I just wish that they would stop treating these fucking minorities like Pokemon. Stop it. It's so fucking obnoxious. Trans people and gay people are not Pokemon. It's fucking weird. Exotics, yes. Just fucking stop. I don't think Overwatch is going to be able to get this stuff out of the game, by the way. I really don't think so. Yeah, it's too difficult for them to be normal since they've been told that they're special their whole lives. It's too difficult for them to be normal because they're obnoxious and weird. That's why it's difficult for them to be normal. Like, there's not like any other reason besides that. Yeah, just obnoxious fucking weirdos. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, just annoying. Yeah, that's the reason. Respect. What was saying you're a woman? Part of the group now full stage. Why not trying to help? Why was she hating you? Why was she angry? Brandon's not part of it anymore. I just, it's just interesting conversation I had with a friend of mine. Right? It's like one of those things like people get older and it's like I don't know. Like I think stories like that are interesting because of the complexities of it. Right? It's like like a weird thing where it's like the dark side of life in a way. I don't know. Like people have enough. Yeah. And it's obnoxious because they were told they're special their whole lives. I don't even think that's it. I really don't. I think it's I don't know. Yeah, I really just don't know at all. If they're normal, they'll lose everything, their whole world. I don't think that they can be normal because they're not normal. I think that they're just weirdos. I think that unironically, they're a bunch of weirdos that can't get along with anybody else. And they constantly have to come up with reasons why it's the world's fault that they're weird. That's it. Yeah, they feel entitled to something. Yeah, and a Christian Messiah complex. Yeah, something like that, right? But just in general, I just find it to be so unpleasant and obnoxious. And I just don't, yeah, I just don't like that type of stuff. And I wish that more people like felt the way that I felt about it. And I think also a lot of people do, though, is that like a lot of guys, and I even hear this from like guys that are like gay, and in a lot of cases, they're like, this shit is weird. And like now people get mad at me because of this weird, like this weird straight white girl that's like trying to like push some weird identity on my name. It's like they're using you as a mascot to make themselves look like they're part of the winning team. It's so obnoxious. It's so obnoxious and weird. And it's so narcissistic and self-centered. White savior complex? I'm just saying it, man. Yeah. Does that hurt the cause so much? It does. I think that, by the way, I think the amount of like weird woke shit that people have done and put in games and like this like weird ideology, like gay cards, like holy fuck. Like, I'm sorry, but like if you look at this as like a spectrum, right? And like one spectrum is off, is you're getting thrown off the building, and the other spectrum is you're transitioning kids. This moves the needle closer to going off the top of a building. It does. It makes people not like this ideology. I think it's bad. I think it's bad. It's reductive. And all it does is it enables people that want to caricature this group of people. It is. They can't see it? I think they can. I do. I think they can. I don't think they care. You held yourself from speaking about it for 4 years because of the culture shift. Now you speak open about it. It's like you got unchained because of the election. I feel like I've said the same shit about this for years. Like if you go back and you watch a video of me talking about this 2 or 3 years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, I actually think that I've been pretty consistent in my viewpoints about this, is that I think overrepresentation and the way that it's done is completely narcissistic. Like, and I'm actually, like, I've been very clear, like, and you guys can go back, like, you'll find a lot of old videos of me calling people the F word, okay? Like, a lot of them. But you'll never hear me, like, even if you go way, way back, like, look at any video, any content I did, even when I was a teenager, you'll never hear me say anything that's really homophobic or transphobic at all. It's just simply not a viewpoint that I have. I just don't feel that way. Like, yeah, and so you go back and look at it, right? I mean, like, yeah,